everybody. Welcome to a happy Saturday. I'm Jason Inman.
I'm Ashley Victoria Robinson.
Hopefully you all know that because you have come here to our channel. This is a Saturday afternoon. If you're on the West Coast like us.
Pretty much anywhere.
Yeah, we went and got some donuts. Ashley's got her coffee. I've got my iced tea. And we're here to answer a bunch of questions you have about basically anything. This is Saturday. We haven't talked in a long time. So let's catch up. Let's see. Happy Saturday to Zach Day, who's out there right now. Happy Saturday to you, Zach Day. Thanks for coming along with us. But also to, talk to you a little bit about if you have any questions about the Jawiin Charity Drive, which of course is going to happen exactly 7 days from today. If you don't know, of course, 7 days from today, from 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, right there on screen, to 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on 11/14, the first Saturday after Veterans Day. And why is that important, Ashley?
Well, because we are raising all kinds of awareness, and we're raising a bunch of money this year. I'm speaking that into the universe for wounded warriors, soldiers, their families, and so we thought putting it after Veterans Day would be the most respectful and appropriate thing that we could do.
Yes, and also because I'm a veteran of the United States Army.
Also that.
But yes, that is the important thing. We're doing this with Operation Gratitude. We have a whole bunch of guests, as you can see. We have Tom King, Emma Fife, Brian Tong, Jay Washington, DJ Woolridge, Ashley V. Robinson, Jason Inman.
Hey, how did they get
that
us?
Weirdo? But as you can see right here, this full schedule next Saturday, starting at 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. is going to be happening, and it's going to be really cool. So we all want you guys to come because we have 5 different panels with 5 different guests with a bunch of these people up here, and you can ask them questions just like us 1 week from today. And this is a very important thing that we're doing. And
because we're doing this through YouTube, and YouTube has a really great way that you can donate directly to charities. If you want to ask specific questions to our guests and you use the super chat feature, whatever you pay for a super chat is going to go right towards our fundraising goal. We don't hold on to any of that. So you'll get to speak directly to and get your questions answered by the pros and help us help Operation Gratitude. So it works out for everyone.
Yeah, there's a lot of really, really cool stuff that's going to be happening. Again, we have this scheduled next Saturday. Don't forget, we'll be updating that. I'll tell you what.
Literally every day.
Well, I'll tell you, everybody watching here, by the way, we'll update that on Tuesday. There's a lot of really cool stuff. Like, you're not going to believe who number 4 PM is.
I do want to also add a little asterisk, little caveat here. If you are a super friend, if you are a patron of ours, patrons are getting video updates, and they are getting announcements before literally anyone else in the world, because they're a big part of how we can put master plans like this into consideration. I know we have a couple patrons here watching live right now, so shout out.
Yeah, so again, come join us next Saturday. This is a very important cause because I was a veteran once in Operation Iraqi Freedom. Oh, there we are. And
we're not engineering this next week, so don't worry about it.
Yes, and care packages are a very important part. So come join us for a great cause, and come in. And guys, feel free. This doesn't have to be just about the Jawiin Charity Drive for service members. Feel free to ask us all kinds of questions. I'm going to show you one more cool thing about the charity drive, but I really want to shout out Cody Bond. Happy Saturday to you, good sir. We have Ephraim Guzman. Ephraim. Love what you do for the military. Much respect. Thank you so much. And then Adam Grumther, best timing ever. Well, thank you as well. Yeah, I don't know, Ashley. Any other things you think we should talk about? I'm going to show them a piece. We've talked about this.
Is it a piece of artistic?
It is a piece of art. I have to open the file to be able to show it on
So
there.
that is the thing that I was actually going to bring up. I'm so glad. In addition to all of the amazing guests, and these are all people that we've either worked with before or we have been trying to work with for a long time. So it's so incredibly generous, and it's as amazing for us as it is for everyone else that they're coming to hang out with us. We are going to be giving away a bunch of original art and maybe a couple copies of Super Soldiers if you don't have one from Jason yet. And we're finally getting to look at what these things are that we're giving away to the highest bidder during whatever time slot. And like, they are next level cool. Jason, I know, is for sure going to fight you all to donate more money to keep one of these.
To donate this!
I want it so bad!
What I'm showing on screen right now is a sketch by Dan Jurgens. He drew this in the recent hardcover for Booster Gold Future Lost. It collected the original Booster Gold series. Mr. Dan Jurgens has signed that copy. He did a Booster Gold sketch in the front cover.
Look at how good it is.
And during one of the hours of the Jawiin Charity Drive, you, the highest donor, will get this. We'll get this for free. And I'll tell you, I think this is so awesome. I want this piece myself. I'm so grateful that a legendary artist like Dan Jurgens decided to donate this to the drive. But I'm going to tell you what, if you're coming next weekend for this, I'm going to fight you for it. I'm going to try to out-donate everybody on this because I love Booster Gold and I love this image. Also,
Jawiin HQ is a huge pro Booster Gold household.
Yeah. Also, Dan... If you get that, when you win the Dan Jurgens piece, what I think will be in our 3rd or 4th hour of the drive, he also...
It's going to be in the middle of the day.
Yes, he also, he did more than just Booster. He did this other piece right here. It is
just very casual, a Superman from one of the all-time great Superman creators.
Yes, he did a sketch of Superman as well. So not only when you win that amazing Booster Gold, you're going to win this blank cover Dan Jurgens unique Superman drawing. Again, when I think about Superman, I think Dan Jurgens.
By the way, you want to see what a genius Dan Jurgens is? Look at the colors of the stars behind Superman are Booster Gold colors because it's like a 2-pack. I want to shout out really quick Brandon Craig in the chat who's saying, as a current service member, thank you so much for your comic drives for troops.
Thank you for your service, Brandon.
Thank you for your service. Thank you also for being here today.
We got Sarah Hager here. Hey guys, good morning. Love the rain today in LA. It is great.
Yes, it's finally not 1,000,000 degrees.
We got a super chat from the famous Geek History Lesson podcast guest Jeremy Skinner. $5. Thank you, Jeremy. I cannot wait for this. Everyone's gonna have to fight me for that Booster Gold. I'm gonna fight you for that Booster book. Although I think
Jeremy's in the Jawiin family, though.
I think Jeremy might have a little bit more money than us. So I'm just saying. He might beat us. He really, really might beat us. But we're getting really excited for this again. So, again, feel free to ask us any questions about anything. It doesn't have to be about the charity drive, but we wanted to come here as a week early, right? And sort of just talk about the charity drive. I don't want to show the whole window. Why are you doing there? But we wanted to talk about the drive because we're so proud of it. It's one of our favorite things that we do every year. So please, again, just make sure the drive will be broadcast on YouTube. So if you're watching this on YouTube, if you're watching this on the Geek History Lesson Facebook, it'll be there. But the only place you can donate is if you go to the YouTube link. Now, the day of the drive, a week from today, this big logo that's on the site will be replaced with a video of the live stream. And also, we're hoping to make that video on Monday or Tuesday. The
link to it.
The link to it available so that you guys go right to the link. But we keep saying, if you go to Charity Drive for service members, this page is where everything's going to be. Again, if you click on that big YouTube button at the top, it'll take you there. But you can only donate during the drive. So if you want these original pieces of art, by the way, I'll just announce it all here. We'll give all the honors.
Exclusive.
Yep. Dan Jurgens is not the only artist that is donating. So Dan Jurgens is donating. You saw his pieces. Cully Hamner, who helped design Jaime Reyes' Blue Beetle, is also donating a piece. And then Brett Booth is donating the original art from an old cover of his.
It's incredible,
It's really, really, really good. So there's 3 chances that the highest donor during one of these hours, if you can see in the schedule, we're only going to give one piece. I believe we're going to be giving away in the 1, the 2, and the 3. So we have a big guest at the beginning, big guest at the end. They're all big guests, but then in the middle. So if you want the original art, and we'll make those announcements eventually, you want to come during those times. And again, but feel free to ask us questions about anything. We're so excited. We hope you're excited. Please, and also share. Tell your friends. We need eyeballs. We need eyeballs because we want to raise that money for Operation Gratitude.
Yes, and I don't know if we said this, but the goal is $5,000. That's $1,000 an hour, which I think is super, super doable. You all have been incredible supporters of our Kickstarters in the past, so we believe now that something really important is on the line, we're going to be able to crush this goal.
Is Ephraim again?
Ephraim, yes.
Ephraim, I apologize.
I've been on Ephraim's show twice. He's lovely, good friend. He's always checking in on us.
Ephraim,
I think that's supposed to say LOL.
Probably, but I like that he's like, woo! Vern Pierce says, thank you for helping the servicemen and women. Just started listening to you guys about 3 months ago and on episode 139. You guys are amazing. Thank you, Vern.
I'm so glad that we are...
What is episode 139?
That's a great question.
I'm going to look it up right now.
I'm so glad that we have become... I'm gonna assume that we're quarantined.
Cyclops.
We're pandemic friends. Oh, that's a good one. Cyclops is a good one. Right. Well, you're like less than halfway, so hopefully we can entertain you for a long time.
Ephraim asked, what are your thoughts on the president-elect? I don't want to talk about that too much, but I will say I'm glad that we now have a president-elect that doesn't think the service members are losers and suckers, and that's all I'm going to say about that.
Yeah, check out Jason's Facebook, Twitter post. Where did you post that picture?
Cody Bond says, any chances you might have the Quiver Devil guest on for a future GHL?
See, Cody's a patron, so he's had a couple more clues. So
yes.
he probably
Cody knows exactly who the Quiver Devil guest is. Because we dropped a lot of clues.
Yeah.
Cody, I will say this. The Quiver Devil guest, the guest who is closing down the Jawiin Charity Drive, is a guest that we have been trying to get for a very long time on Geek History Lesson, and just schedules have not aligned, and it just has never happened, right? I'm hoping that if the drive goes well, we now have their contact, that we can easily be like, hey, we're doing this, come on. Mm-hmm. I also will say that I would almost predict this, that the Quiver Devil panel of the Jawiin Charity Drive will be a future GHL episode. We'll probably just drop it into the feed.
Yeah, because it's gonna be, if it's gonna be a good time.
Brandon Craig asked, of all the characters you highlighted in your book, Super Soldiers, which one means the most to you and why? So Super Soldiers, if you don't know, is my nonfiction book about comic book superheroes and my story of the military. Actually, I went and grabbed a copy because it's on our set. I published it 2 years ago. No, I published it last year. And my favorite chapter is probably Captain Atom. Because Captain Atom is very much about being lost in time and not certain, where he was. And that was something that I really felt. And by the way, if you want a signed copy of that, go to jasoninman.com/store. And also, we'll be giving away signed copies of that during the drive as well, if you're one of the higher donors. Also, another thing, you should tell them what we're doing with GHL next week.
I was going to bring that up. Mm-hmm. Excellent. It's like we have the same brain. Geek History Lesson next week, and patrons know this because they get access to the episodes early, is going to be called Super Soldiers, and it is going to feature Jason reading one of the chapters from Super Soldiers that he was very passionate about, that I really was happy that he chose.
We got so many props.
Yeah, we have all the props today.
I just got this this week. I have the special edition War Machine Marvel Legends. Look at how cool this is. Now, if you know this, Rhodey Rhodes is like one of my favorite characters ever.
He's kind of your Iron Man in a lot of ways.
He is my Iron Man. When I started reading Iron Man, it was because of Rhodey. Look at this figure, guys. This was like a thing they had through Hasbro Labs, and I just love it. I think it's my favorite War Machine armor, and it has all the great stuff like that. So, Brandon Craig, I hope that answers your question.
Yes. And for more on that, just jump ahead in your listening and listen to the episode that drops Tuesday.
Yeah.
That'll be all on Super Soldier. It's a really good episode, too.
Adam Gronther, thank you so much for the super chat. We love having you around. Ash Cat, because I'm sorry, your last name is difficult for me to say. This is one of my favorite things you guys do. My brother was a service member. Thank you for your service. And I used to send him comics all the time. Oh, that's so nice.
That is sweet.
Here we go. Dimitri says...
Cyros?
Cyros.
If we mispronounce your names, by the way, that's on us. That's no disrespect.
I've listened to every episode over the past year and somehow never knew what either of you look like. Well, that's because we are broadcasting this. Not only are we broadcasting this on... we're broadcasting this on YouTube right now. We're also broadcasting this on Facebook. Now, the Jawiin Charity Drive at the same time, we will next week be... we'll be showing that on YouTube, our Facebook, and then also probably my Twitter. But again, the only place you can donate next week to get some of that original art and see those guests and help service members is to come to YouTube. Again, your super chats next week, they'll have like a little hand like this. They'll look like this. It means your super chats go towards the drive. And then also there's a big old donate button. And Ashley said very earlier on, none of that comes to us. It goes straight to Operation Gratitude because thankfully YouTube has really upped their charity options.
Yes. I also want to say that now that you know what we look like, I hope that we get to meet you in person someday at a convention or an event or something like that.
I need to trim my beard, so don't judge me on this.
My hair's also I haven't had my hair cut all year, and I'm having a little crisis.
And you can go to my Instagram. You can see I literally grew my hair out for almost this year.
A couple weeks ago.
Everybody said I was like John Wick, which I don't know, but
fully a different race.
Yes. Okay. So thank you so much, Dimitri. I'm just going down the line of the questions we got here. Zach Day says podcast pros equals Kevin Smith. No,
it's not.
Podcast pros,
by the way,
is two people.
It's one person who's been on the show before, one person who we've been trying to get on the show. That's going to be a great panel, though.
If you notice, hold on a second. How do I bring it up? I gotta figure out how do I do this. Sorry, guys. StreamYard is still here. Here we go. All right, here we go. If you look at the schedule for next week, it's plural when there's more than one guest. It's singular when there's only a single guest. So the 3 panels that have S's, so Podcast Pros is more than one person. Quiver Devil is one person.
Wonderful is one.
Wonderful is one person.
Wonderful is going to be freaking wonderful, too.
Wonderful is going to be wonderful. It's going to bring a smile to our faces. I actually was going to say that the Wonderful panel, because this person is such a professional at their job, we should ask them to read a few things with their talents.
We are writing all of our panels and our outlines. One of the panels, I'll tease this, one of the panels is a trivia game. And I have to write that this week, and I'm very nervous about it. So we'll see. And that's
just give it away. It's a 3 p.m. panel.
The 3 p.m. panel is a trivia panel. It's the only panel that's not going to be hosted by Jason and myself as well. So that's going to be a lot of fun. A nice way to break up the stream right in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know how to. StreamYard's, again, we're not engineering, so it's all.
No, we also shout out to Christian Rubikava, who is going to be engineering all of this for us, so we don't have
Cody Bond says, I'm not American and I feel relieved. So does Ashley.
Shout out to my Canadian brother.
Adam Grunther says, love the mural story in your Hal Jordan story. Yes, that's correct. And I tell the story about that in basic training. I had to paint the mural while I was in Army basic training. And it was a hell of a thing.
That was one of the few stories that I knew. I learned a lot beta reading Jason's book as well.
Jeremy says, love the new set, by the way. Yes, that's correct. And if you go look at the professional YouTube videos, that's how they'll look. I don't know how much we'll shoot on that stuff, but it's whatever.
Yeah,
we like doing this stuff now.
We're mixed on this set.
I'm such a huge fan of Sleepwalker. Are there any obscured characters that you guys are fans of?
Ooh, that's a good question. For a long time,
did it come in mind?
For a long time, I would have said Booster and Beetle.
But now they're popular.
Yeah. I actually
they're on the set over there.
They are.
Can't see. They're in that far
They're
corner.
married. I also think they're popular because of Batman the Brave and the Bold. I think is a big reason because because Booster is so prevalent in that show, and I know that's where a lot of people got introduced to him.
Yeah.
This is like a hard question, actually, in a lot.
Sleepwalker is a great character, by the way.
A lot of ways. I mean, I would have said Umbrella Academy, but they have a television show now, so I guess that's not that deep a cut. It's also tough because so much is being mined right now for adaptation. This is what I'll say. It's a major property, but it's not a character that people are a fan of. I will die on the hill that Theon Greyjoy is one of the all-time best Game of Thrones characters. I love Theon.
Okay.
He's the only Game of Thrones Funko Pop I have on display.
Okay.
I love it.
All right. That is an interesting one.
Thank you.
I'm trying to see if there's somebody I put on, because usually I put them on the set. The Thunderbolts.
Yeah, you are a big Thunderbolts fan.
Actually, move this. If you look right,
let me move
if you look right there, I have the 3 Marvel Legends Thunderbolts. That's Citizen V, Songbird, and Mach 5. Because I'm hoping there's a Thunderbolt fan at the Marvel Legends crew, and I'm hoping they complete the Thunderbolts. I actually need to put regular Hawkeye with them because Hawkeye was part of the Thunderbolts too.
H Hawkeye, not Fraction Hawkeye.
Yeah, H Hawkeye.
Yeah.
He technically was their leader for a while.
Yes.
Because it became Hawkeye in the Thunderbolts for a while. So, okay, so here we go. Next question is Meow.
Meow.
Thank you so much for the super chat. That's very kind of you.
Another Canadian.
4 episodes in with Discovery. How are you two feeling about it? Seems interesting to go into a little undiscovered country. Also, predictions. Ashley, I know you have not seen it.
I haven't watched this season of Discovery.
I've seen it.
What I will say is 2 things. Anthony Rapp is the best. Second, I am so glad that I'm going to try to keep this as spoiler-free as possible in case anyone is not aware of what's happening.
Oh, I'm going to spoil something right out the gate. So.
I am so happy that Disco is now set in a different time period.
Yep.
And no shade to any of the episodes that came before. I still think Madness to Make the Sanest Man Go Mad is the best episode, but I think it should have been set in a different time period all along, and so I think that's really cool, but I haven't watched any of the episodes this season.
I'm really happy that Saru is finally captain.
Yes. Also, by the way, if you guys aren't following Doug Jones on Instagram, he has been doing some really great. Like,
He's the best
this is what
character on
I
that
look
show.
like under Saru. This is
Yep.
what I'm doing. It's
Yep.
really cool.
He's the best character on that show.
You've been saying that since the pilot. Basically.
I thought season 1
was gonna
make him the captain. Like, I thought I was like, oh, we're building to the first alien captain in Star Trek. I'm just surprised it took 3 seasons, but
that could have been the plan from the beginning, though. We don't know.
I think I don't know. It's definitely, I would say, the best season of Discovery so far.
Great.
And some predictions are, I think the Federation is not going to be what everybody expects it to be. I think you're going to be really surprised by it. I think they're going to throw some curveballs at us. And I think we're going to get a big TOS thing towards the end of the season. That's my thing.
Interesting.
I think the burn is connected to an original series thing. But I'm not going to say anything more than that because it's a crazy theory and it would take too long.
All right, we'll come back to this when Discovery's
Matthew Kelly.
on. Shout out!
I'm so excited for this. He's either excited for this live stream or he's excited for the Jawiin Charity Drive for service members. Whoop, 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 whoop.
Matt also volunteered to help in any way possible, so I think he's going to be on a short list for future people to bother to help us.
Well, that's been a positive thing. That's been a positive thing about the Jawiin Charity Drive for service members. That doesn't work out. There we go. That's right. The Jawiin Charity Drive for service members, again, next Saturday. We're just going to keep pumping it. I've had a lot of people this week reach out and be like, "Oh, I'm willing to help," and I guess they don't realize how much of a planner I am because I plan way ahead. So by last week we were locked. We were like locked because I don't want to spend the last 5 days before an event being like, are they going to show up? I want to know stuff, but
we're still going to feel like
I've been we will. They just can't get around. But I've been so enthused by everybody showing up that I will say that next year, if this goes well, we hit the money. A lot of people show up. We'll definitely bring more people in like Matt Kelly. Like Joe Starr was one of the people who I was very kind about. He sent me a very kind message, and Joe was like, please let me know how I can help. I'm in. And I was like, well, I'm going to definitely activate you for next year.
This is also
Andy Merriweather of Settled the Score.
The online idea, the
Mm-hmm.
idea of moving to direct fundraising in addition to comics or paired with, is something that we've been talking about doing for a long time.
Yeah.
This year just gave us the reason to finally activate it. So, like Jason says, if this goes well, it's only going to be more things, bigger, better, more ambitious, more money for Operation Gratitude.
And we've said this on the Patreon and other places like that if this goes really well this year, then to me that gives us the sign that next year it can be an online thing and a physical thing. Like maybe we can do a charity concert. Maybe we can do an actual thing. People could bring their comic books. We could do we could broadcast it. It could go crazy. It's a lot of crazy things. And again, we're going slowly through your questions, so I hope you guys are all responding to that. That's great. All right, let's keep going here. I gotta just again StreamYard. There we are. All right, Ariel. Says, first time, long time. I love you all show. Thank you so much. Mr. Cody Bond from Toronto, right?
Yes. We met Cody in Toronto.
That's why I'm
not sure if that's where he lives, but that's where we met Cody.
Well, he's now Toronto Cody Bond, forever and ever. Question for Jason. When a TV show writes in a decision that goes completely sideways and is generally received negatively by the fans, what is it like in the writer's room and how do you recover it? Cody, that is an excellent question.
It is an excellent question.
Here's
It's actually a Jason-specific question.
It is, because I literally work in a TV writer's room right now.
Yeah.
On Zoom. But,
still.
I work on a TV writer's room right now. So here's the problem with that now. Or I'm going to peel back the curtain a little bit. Most shows are streaming shows right now, right? Streaming shows, generally, most of the time, it's not the case for everything, are written before anything is filmed. They're complete, all 10 episodes, all 13. HBO does this, Netflix does this, most of CBS All Access does this, places like that. So the problem is that by the time the fans see it, that show is either working on the next season or they're not working at all.
Yeah.
So you're only going to see adjustments in like the next season or the next season after that. Network shows are generally the ones that can react to it, but network shows are usually about 5 weeks ahead. So the fastest they could change something would be 5 episodes down the line. But I will say this, generally the person who reacts the most is the showrunner. because they're the head writer, they're the executive producer. Every decision of a television show is through their lens.
The buck stops with them.
It stops with them. So the rest of the TV writers that are in that room are basically, their whole idea is just to, your whole job is to, how can I pitch awesome ideas that will make the showrunner's idea better? That's the whole job. It's not your thing. So I would say that most TV writers would just be like, well, oh well. You know, I bet the showrunner's really depressed. You know, but
also sometimes things get introduced that pay off later on. So this is just me speaking as a viewer, because we're rewatching Avatar: The Last Airbender right now, and there is stuff that is introduced very early that can feel weird and out of place, especially if you're not familiar with something or it's airing for the first time. But yeah, I know reaction times can be really different.
I hope that answers your question, Cody. Look, anybody reacting negative to anything you create is going to suck, no matter what, you know? So I think most of the time, what I have noticed in my time in the TV writer's room is that when something like that happens, generally the response for the writers is, okay, because this is the TV term that I've heard a lot. I heard a lot now, is like, what bumps you? So that what it means is like when you hear a story or watch a show, watch a movie, what kicks you out of the story to be like, oh, I'm watching a movie. Oh, I'm watching a TV show. Because, you know, we all know that idea where you go subconsciously into the movie and you're just like, oh, this is awesome. And that's what you're going for. But so most of the time when something like that happens, the writers will be like, what is it that's making them bump on it? And can we adjust it? Most of the time, I'm going to tell you, you can't. Because you're so far ahead that you're just like, well, they're just going to keep tweeting about it for a long, long time. I also have heard many situations with some of our friends that have worked on the CW shows where they have introduced a thing and the fans have just been like, whoa! And the writers are more like, I don't understand.
Yeah.
You know, like, I don't understand why people don't like that, you know? But I'm also the same way because I've seen certain shows succeed and I've been like, I don't get why people like this show. But, you know, so I hope that answered your question. Cody, that was an amazing question. And I also hope that everybody wasn't bored by us going into TV writing as well. So there you go. All right, we have Tommy Johnson. Hello, Tommy. Says, are you guys looking forward to DC Endless Winter or Future State? I am looking forward to Endless Winter. Do you want to know why I'm looking forward to Endless Winter?
Sure.
Endless Winter. It's an event about snow. I don't like snow. But Endless Winter is being written by Dan Abnett and Ron Mars. So it is Ron Mars's like sort of like return back to DC. So to be honest with you, I'm in.
I didn't know that he was on that. That actually makes me excited for it. I'm not a huge events gal. That's like not my bread and butter in comics. Please check out Blackest Nightclub on Patreon. But knowing that makes me very excited. Future State, you mean 5G?
5G too. Yep. Liam Gilray says, I know you are a big fan of Nightwing. That is correct. I was wondering, what are your thoughts on the Rick arc? You're talking about Rick Grayson, where he got shot in the head and became a cabbie for a year and a half. Stupid. I'm so happy that the people that worked on those books got to work.
Absolutely.
But turning Dick Grayson into Rick Grayson, I think, was just a bad idea.
It also just screams of editorial oversight to me.
Efren says, not sure if this question has been asked, but what is your favorite Justice League Unlimited episode? I don't think the question has been asked. I don't know if I have a favorite one off the top of my head, but I will say, it's funny, if you guys are interested in that stuff, Mr. Jeremy Skinner, who is in this as well.
Who's in the chat.
Who's in the chat as well. We have been talking about doing a Justice League animated review podcast over on the Patreon called Jason and Jeremy Jaw About Justice League.
Yes, and your pilot episode is over there.
Well, sort of. It's like a
trial episode.
It's more of a conversation that turns into that, but it's like more of us just talking. It's not really I wouldn't call it a pilot episode. We should probably do a pilot episode, but is there one that sticks out to you? I mean,
I really like their version of the Black Mercy storyline.
Yeah, for the man who has everything.
Thank you. I think that's really well handled. And then we watched the holiday episode a lot, which I think is very
Season 2.
deftly handled for a kids animated show.
I will say I really like the two-parter where like Luthor and Brainiac go together and Wally goes into the Speed Force. I really like that a lot.
Yeah, that's cool.
I like a lot of the Cadmus question episodes. There's the one where like and I really like the Booster Gold episode. The where he's like around the corner in the alleyway.
Oh yeah.
And he keeps like saving the world, and the Justice League is having the battle over here. And then at the end of the episode, they think Elongated Man, not Booster, even though Booster was the one that saved the day.
Yeah, poor
I think
Booster.
that's really good.
Sweet baby.
Jeremy Skinner says, "Love me some Trills." Who doesn't?
Me too.
Adam Grunther says, "Is Star Trek Voyager worth watching? I haven't seen it, but the premise sounds amazing." Yes.
The premise is amazing.
All the Star Trek shows are worth watching, I would say. Actually,
I would agree. I would absolutely agree.
There is not... I don't think there's a stinker in the bunch. I just like other ones better than the other ones. Yeah, Star Trek Voyager, I'm going to say this, is very much like Smallville, if you remember that show. When Star Trek Voyager works... it really works. And when it doesn't, it really doesn't.
It's got a great 2-part pilot episode.
The pilot's really good.
Kate Mulgrew as Captain Janeway is exceptional. And there are some really wonderful characters. One of my favorite Vulcans comes out of that show.
As the Jeremy Skinner says, all Star Trek is worth it.
Correct. Also, you got nothing but time.
Matthew Kelly says, what is going to be your live strep prep game? Mine was a lot of tea, water, and DoorDash, but I don't know if I'd recommend it. That's very interesting. I haven't put much thought into it. We do have... I'd heard about this for years. We've always had it. This like Japanese concoction that is like really good for coating your throat for like talking
it's
stuff.
It's like the thing that all the Broadway stars use.
Yeah, it's the thing like coats your throat so you can keep singing if you're sick or whatever. So it's gonna be a lot of that.
Yes, and a lot of coffee for me.
Yes, I don't know about that. Sarah Hager says, predictions and thoughts for the Green Lantern HBO Max show. I'm stoked to see Jessica and Simon. They're my favorite lanterns. I think they're gonna do some version of Blackest Night. I think there's no doubt in my mind that they're going to do some version of Blackest Night.
I also think someone that we love is working on it, and I'm so happy for them.
Actually, that is true.
I don't know if that's been announced yet, but we're happy for you.
He has not been announced.
Yeah.
But when he messaged me and told me that he got hired on Green Lantern, I was so excited for him.
So, but knowing that he's working on it actually makes me more excited for the show.
Yep. Meow says Kelsey Grammer should be in more Trek. I think Kelsey Grammer just in more things.
I agree with that.
I like Kelsey Grammer. Elko de Boer, like Nicole de Boer,
sure,
who played Ezra Dax. The third season of Discovery is indeed very good so far, and although Voyager has its flaw, overall it is just as amazing as most of Star Trek is. You are correct.
Excellent take.
You're correct. Cody Bond says, "Sorry, Ashley, I will think of one for you next."
I was not upset.
I've been meaning to ask you for a while. Jeremy Skinner goes, "Hell yeah!" He's doing his best Kite Man impression. Jeremy also says, "My answer is the 2-part season 2/4 finale." I think the season 4 finale is the one where they fight Darkseid. I think
so.
Yeah. ChemDog73 says, I completely agree.
Heck yeah.
And then Meow has a super chat here. Oh, thank you so much. Are there any anime or manga that you like that tackles the issue of war? Grave of the Fireflies is still one of the most moving ones I have seen.
Grave of the Fireflies is the best one. I think, in my opinion, I also think the English dub of Grave of the Fireflies is really quite good. I believe it's on HBO Max.
Sure.
Right now, we should watch that one because I think you would really, really like it.
I don't have an answer for this one.
I don't have a great answer for this because all the ones that I can recommend you are like fictional wars. So it's like Attack on Titan or Gundam Wing.
You can still say some pretty amazing. You can still, I think, tell some great stories if it's a fake war. I mean, Star Wars is a fake war.
No, that's true.
All of Star Trek, the Dominion War is a great arc, but it is a fake arc. But in the final season of Deep Space Nine, they have the siege of, I think, AR-749. And that's the episode where Nog gets his leg blown off.
Oh, War in the Pocket. That's a great recommendation.
And that's a great one. Oh, War in the Pocket here?
Yeah. But yeah, so all of mine are just like giant. I'll say this. This is not anime or manga, but it is Japanese media. If you have never watched the OG Godzilla movie, talk about a movie that has a point of view and tells you a lot about the culture of the time and how they're reacting to this massive event. I know it's a giant guy in a suit, and I know it's puppets, but like the original Godzilla movie is very, very moving. But I'm more of a magical girls anime person, so like I've been watching Little Witch Academia right now, which is not at all what you're asking for recommendations on. Jeremy
Skinner says, has either of you seen The Guyver? No, but I just Googled this 1991 Europe and South American superhero comedy film based on the Japanese manga series. When a researcher of the Kronos Corporation is mysteriously killed, his daughter, her boyfriend Sean, and a rogue CIA agent named Max Reed, who is Mark Hamill, all suspect foul play.
Wow,
this sounds insane. I have never heard of this
It's either
before.
going to be good or terrible. I feel like there's no middle ground.
It's a New Line Cinema. It is a 90s New Line Cinema movie.
New Line Cinema, Lord of the Rings.
So, Cody Bond says, code, how do you say that?
I don't know.
Gayas?
Yes.
Was good as well.
There you go.
Liam Gilroy says, what are your favorite comics that are you currently reading?
Black Magic by Image Comics, Volume 3 is coming out right now. I am really, really enjoying that. But I have been reading a lot of prose recently. I am currently reading Rich People Problems, which is the third book in the Crazy Rich Asian trilogy, because I'm looking for nothing but escapism. So that's actually what I've been reading a lot lately. And then I've been rereading Invincible, because they had a bunch of announcements about the show, by which I mean we saw a trailer and we were told it might release sometime in the future, and that made me want to go and revisit Invincible, which if you've never read Invincible, it is like superhero candy. I can't recommend it enough if you are an adult person, because it's very violent. Jason?
I'm not reading anything currently published right now. I just reread Miracle Man, the Neil Gaiman Alan Moore comic book, and it was great. And I've been reading through Christopher Priest's Deathstroke run.
Oh, yeah.
So, because I started with Marv Wolfman and then I go to Christopher Priest. That's all. That's what I've been reading lately.
Remember that time we saw him at the airport?
Yeah, because we went to Planet Comic Con with him. Yeah,
he was lovely.
Raymond Burr slaps in Godzilla.
He does. Correct.
MS903, which sounds like a planet from Stargate. Hello. Hi. Hello.
Hello.
Chemdog says there's 2 of them. Yes. No, I don't. I know you're referring to something else. Jeremy Skinner says it's truly insane. We are.
No, I think he means the show.
No,
the movie that you recommend.
Oh, it's truly insane. Okay. Sarah Hager says, I'm wanting to buy my cousin a comic for Christmas. He's a history buff and loves studying the world wars. Any recommendations? I have a perfect recommendation. There is a comic book. There's a graphic novel called The Bridge. It is written by Peter J. Tomasi. You can find it on Amazon. And it is about the building of the Brooklyn Bridge. Came out last year. It is a great history comic.
I'm going to recommend They Called Us Enemy, which is a very, like, I think it just won an Eisner.
It did win the and the Ringo.
And the Ringo, which is George Takei's story about growing up in concentration camps in North America. It's really good. It's really moving. I'm also going to recommend, this is more ancient history, but Boxers and Saints. It is a 2-part graphic novel series. You can buy them in a really nice box set on Amazon. It's very affordable. It is about the Boxer Rebellion and the Christian missionaries, and it tells you kind of
both sides
from a similar character.
It's really
good.
Gene Yang wrote it.
Yeah. So you know, if you're not familiar, Gene Yang is pretty much the king of comics right now. So it's going to be really good.
Max Driver says, "Hi guys."
Hi.
Meow says Mark Hamill and Patrick Stewart both starred in an Uber Eats commercial. Yes, they did. I saw it.
Well, good for them. They got paid.
Zach Day says, moving into 2021, if cons resume and we get SDCC, how do you think they will change in the COVID age? Would you still feel comfortable attending as a guest?
We've never attended as guests.
Well, actually, I've never attended as a guest. No, I'm kidding, Zach. I know it's a typo. It's fine. I've said this in a couple other places, and I'll say this here. I don't think there's a San Diego Comic-Con next year.
I agree, and I'll tell you why. Because I don't think the big stars and the big directors and the big television writers that people love attending SDCC, I don't think you'll get them the way that they're going to want. And also, if SDC is on next year, I can't tell you right now, it's only November, if I will feel comfortable going or not. But if the numbers in the U.S. don't plateau or drop, I probably won't feel comfortable going.
Yeah, I don't.
To be honest.
It's going to take a while for me to feel comfortable going to a con. Because to me, like, cons, every year we would go to New York Comic Con. Every year, 3 days after we got back, I would have the worst cold of the entire year. Every time I went to New York Comic Con. So cons are like Petri dishes. And if there is a very, strong virus out there, I'm not really going to want to go to a place where people are coming from all these different countries.
And touching you.
And also,
there's just no way to not make human contact at a convention.
And also, again, this is part of the reason why we decided to throw out, why we decided to do the Jawiin Charity Drive for service members virtual, is because, as we can see now, there are so many great examples of virtual cons. New York Comic Con, Baltimore Comic Con did it. San Diego Comic Con did it.
Mainframe's been doing it all year long.
DC Fandom. I mean, that's what inspired us to do this next Saturday. So I would say I don't know. It's going to take a lot for me to feel comfortable to go back to
I
that.
would say ask us a week before, and then we might actually have a real answer for you.
Tommy Johnson says, did you read the 90th anniversary Super Spectacular for Robin?
Yes.
Yep. We have a lot of the covers.
Yes, they were great. I actually really like the anniversary editions that they've been doing, and the 1,000 issues, that number 1,000 issues. I think DC does anniversary content the best right now.
Hal Jordan says, oh, hey, Hal. Love seeing the growth of your creative and charitable projects. It's been very exciting to watch.
Thank
you
out
so much,
to your photo.
Yeah.
With mask.
Guyver movies. Chem Dogs.
We're just like really slow getting to these.
Cody Bond says, all of your James Bond episodes make me want to go down a Jack Ryan rabbit hole. Any chance that there is a Jack Ryan episode on your 400-plus to-do list? Alternatively, Jack Ryan versus Bond. Oh, boy. It's so interesting because I do like...
You're pro Jack Ryan.
I do like...
As a character, you think he's interesting?
I do like the Jack Ryan books. I really do. And I like the 2 Jack Ryan Harrison Ford movies. And I liked season 1 of the Jack Ryan show. So I'm a big Jack Ryan fan. You know what? I wouldn't say no. I wouldn't say no to that.
Also, at this point, our programming schedule is like out the window, so maybe.
But if I think that show did get a season 3. So
I'm sure it did.
If they're hitting it out, let's throw it down there. I'd be down for Jack Ryan. Bond kicks Jack Ryan's ass because Jack Ryan is an analyst. He's not a secret agent. Bond would just destroy him.
Just punch him into submission. That's really funny.
Guess that is. Yes, thank you, Zach.
Typos are never anything to be.
By the way, Zach, I didn't mean to make fun of you. That was not my intention. Hi, Dan Braun. Ephraim says, curious, Jason, what was your soundtrack when you were overseas, if you had one?
That's a great question.
It was the Garden State soundtrack. No lie. There's a lot of Shins because that had just come out.
It's a great soundtrack.
It was a lot of Beatles, and it was a lot of REM. That was my sort of, with little snippets of Team America, because Team America had come out, because it was the year after I went to Iraq, so we played a lot of America Fuck Yeah. So there you go. Chemdog starring David Solid Snake Hayter. Oh, does he star in Guyver?
Who's that?
He's the guy, the voice of, I don't know, he's the voice of Solid Snake in Metal Gear Solid. He does the voice of Metal Gear Solid. Adam Grother says, which Deathstroke portrayal do you prefer? Manu Bennett in Arrow or Esai Morales in Titan? Esai Morales. Far and away
Esai Morales. I like them both a lot. I think they're both really good actors. Esai Morales is closer to comic book Deathstroke. Manu Bennett's Deathstroke is like an Arrowverse specific version of that character.
Manu Bennett is a good Slade Wilson. Esai Morales is just the better actor. So
he's also tall.
Dan Braun says, I am Russian. Hello.
Cool. What time is it there?
How cold? Is it cold there right now?
Is it snowing?
Yeah.
Send us food.
Okay.
Russian food's great.
Mac Driver says, where can I start with Deadpool after reading the Dead Daniel Way run? I really like that run and was, in my opinion, the perfect written Deadpool comic. The only Deadpool comic book that I've ever liked is the Joe Kelly run. It was the first Deadpool solo series. The first ongoing is Joe Kelly, and it was Ed McGuinness. And then I think it was years before the Daniel Way. So beyond that,
everything you like about Deadpool, from the movie version, from the comic book, from the video game versions, the jokey right to camera guy, like that is from that original Joe Kelly run.
Yes.
And there's a lot of really great collections of it. They're in soft cover. They're super affordable. You can find them online. Hoopla probably has a bunch of them for free. That is always, always, always my recommendation. There was also a couple years ago a miniseries that was Deadpool and Hawkeye that was pretty good. That was about them bonding over like their hearing loss and their positions as fathers. That's not too bad, but definitely go and read the Joe Kelly stuff and then move forward if you want to.
I love Meow, going straight to my heart. Best Wharf episode, and why is it Parallels? LOL. Parallels actually is a pretty good episode. Do you remember that episode? It's the one where it's the final season of TNG where Wharf is he goes through a rift and he goes through all these alternate worlds.
Yes, that's a great episode.
What do you think? And you can include DS9 in this. What do you think is the best Wharf episode? I know flat out right away.
Okay, tell me yours.
Mine is, and it's one that a lot of people don't pick, it's Change of Heart. Change of Heart is the first Wharf episode post Jadzia and Worf's wedding.
Yes.
It's where Jadzia and Worf go to a jungle planet because they have to pick up this Cardassian, and then Jadzia gets hurt, and the whole episode revolves around Worf can do the mission.
Or he can help her.
But if he does, she dies.
Yeah.
And so what happens is he says, screw the mission, and he saves Jadzia.
I like that. My favorite Wharf moment
Yeah.
is actually leading up to the wedding when Jadzia has replicated the candles.
That's in the wedding episode.
Yeah.
That's what is that called?
And he's mad at her because she didn't like go and kill the beast and boil the bones and make the tallow, and like I love anything. I also love the first time you see them fighting in the holodeck with the batless, where you can tell they're just so hot for each other. Like, to me, my favorite Wharf is like Wharf in love with Dax.
You are cordially invited.
Thank
is
you.
the wedding episode.
That is like and they have this like bitter, petty argument that couples have. I love that single moment. Parallels, I think, is probably the best choice that I'm going to tack on to. I mean, Way of the Warrior is the obvious, right?
For me, the ones I go, Way of the Warrior is pretty good, but
yeah.
I don't really view that as a Wharf episode. I view that as an event episode. My other one is, and I can't remember the title of it, is there's a Wharf episode in TNG where he breaks his. Oh no! It's they find a Romulan that's injured. It's critically injured, and they need like some sort of like chemical element in blood to
give him a transfusion or help him.
For Dr. Crusher to create new Romulan blood. And they find out that the only person on board that has it is Worf.
Yeah, because Klingons have 800 hearts and 6 spleens.
And because the Romulans killed Worf's parents and made him an orphan, Worf is like, let him die.
Yeah.
You know, and
it's kind of how Kirk feels about Klingons.
Yeah, and then he eventually does it. Because
Worf is a good guy.
Well, because Picard gives him like Mr. Worf, your blood should be used. You know, like he does that whole thing.
Yeah.
But to be honest with you, I've always thought, I love that episode, but I've always thought that they should have just let that Romulan die. Because I was like, no, Worf.
You like Romulans.
I do, but I also like characters believing their core beliefs, and I don't ever believe that Worf would ever help a Romulan. You know, so there you go. That was a long answer, but
tweet
Meow?
at GHL Podcast. Tweet this exact
Best
thing
Wharf
there
episodes.
so that we can have that as a note for a future episode.
Best Wharf episodes
because we won't remember. Yeah.
Adam Grunther, Cody Bond says at Adam Grunther, Manny Bennett was incredible as Deathstroke, but Joe Manganiello looks good.
You know what? I will say Joe Mangione. I don't know how to say your last name. I'm really sorry. Probably looks the best as Deathstroke.
I have a story about Joe Manganiello.
Sure.
So I knew he was in Justice League before I saw the movie. You want to know how I knew? I mean this, but I luckily got to go to the Justice League premiere, the world premiere of Justice League. And I know that movie is mixed or whatever, but I had a hell of a fun time because you know, it was huge. Everybody was there. And I remember
he was there. I remember you texting me about that.
I walked to like the vending area where they had like free popcorn and water and stuff like that. And Joe was picking up popcorn. And I literally stopped and was like, Deathstroke's here. He's in this movie.
Because he'd been announced as Deathstroke, but like not where he was going to be appearing.
And so when the credits rolled, I was like, oh, he's the after credits scene. I was like, he's the after credits. Because I was like, he would not be here unless he was in this stupid movie. Yeah, because I texted you like immediately. I was like, I just saw Deathstroke. He's definitely in this movie. Yeah. All right, Sarah Hager says, do you think DC will continue with Fandom? Yes.
I hope so.
Will they keep it online? Yes. Do it online. It'll be online.
Yeah, because you know what you have to do for an online event? Tell people how to use Zoom. You know what you don't have to do for an online event? Fly people from all over the world.
It's cheaper.
Put them up at hotels. Give them a per diem. Pay them to appear. It is way easier to produce Fandom.
You also
way
should,
cheaper.
As a fan of anything, you'll notice that there are certain people, comic book creators, stars, stuff like that only go to certain conventions, and it's because of travel.
Or they don't go, like Kelly Thompson doesn't go to any conventions.
Virtual events. Get rid of that because of all.
Well, when Gal Gadot lives in Tel Aviv, it can be a little bit of a.
But Gal Gadot is more likely to sign on if she can do it from her bedroom.
Exactly.
You know, so there you go. Lee Carter says, just got HBO Max and have never seen a Studio Ghibli film. What should I start with?
Man, I always tell people to start with Spirited Away because I think Spirited Away is the most Ghibli film of all time.
I go Howl's Moving Castle, but I'll also tell you if you got HBO Max, which is my new favorite app, you need to also check out that deep bench of Turner classic movies.
Oh, so many westerns.
Well, not even westerns,
but there's a lot of westerns.
Every Hitchcock film is on HBO Max.
Yeah. The TCM is like secretly the best thing about HBO Max that nobody is talking about.
I like your channel so much, and the Geek Lesson too. Thank
you.
REM Victoria helped introduce him to Tragically Hip. I don't know what Tragically Hip is.
It's a Canadian band. Also, my name isn't Victoria.
There you go. Liam Gilroy says, what countries would you like to visit? Australia?
I really want to go to Morocco.
Iceland?
Mm-hmm. All of them. Every country.
Greece.
I really want to go to Egypt.
I want to go to the Philippines.
Oh, the food would be so
I really
good.
want to go to the Philippines. And I want to go to Africa. And I'm thinking either South Africa or Madagascar would be the place I would really want to go see.
You want to go on safari?
Well, yes, but I couldn't remember any of the countries, and I didn't want to sound dumb.
Okay.
I couldn't remember There's a specific country that I want to go to that I believe it has Victoria Falls. Is that the one?
I can literally look it up.
There's that.
I believe it's Victoria Falls because Angel Falls is the one in
Angel Falls
South
in
Africa.
South America. There's, I think Victoria.
You sound like idiots.
Yes, I apologize to anybody who's living in Africa and watching this, but I really want to go to wherever the Victoria Falls is. That's the country I really want to go to in Africa.
It's in South Africa.
And we'll figure it out. DA says, what is your opinion on the Harley Quinn show? I like it.
It is located on the border between Zambia and Zimbabwe.
Well, there you go. I'm going to Zimbabwe. Adam Gruther says, who do you think is the most compelling villain from the Marvel Netflix shows? Oh boy. Who did help me out with the guy who's Blade now?
Mahershala Ali.
Mahershala Ali. Who did he play?
Yeah, he played Cottonmouth.
Cottonmouth.
You're not just going to say Vincent D'Onofrio, the only one who's an actual character and not a caricature of a villain?
Fair. There you go. Yep.
Marvel.
Conversation over.
No shade. Marvel, we all know, is not great at
Bad
villains.
Bad villains.
Okay. I do love Mahershala.
Sarah Hager says, Oracle versus Cyborg. Who wins?
Oracle.
I'm going to give it to Oracle.
Oracle beats literally everybody, unless you push her over.
Mac Driver says, have any writing tips? I've been writing on my blog for a while now, finishing off the DCU by adapting Injustice, and now I'm almost done finishing off MCU Spider-Man, and I don't have many views. I don't know what you're writing. Are you writing blogs, or are you writing fan fiction, which is completely different tips?
Different audiences.
You just have to be consistent.
Look, I will say this about if you're looking at like views, whether it's listens on a podcast, views to your blog, views to a video, anything like that. I don't know how long a while is, but it literally takes years, years to build an audience. And you have to think about the type of content that you are producing, whatever that is, fan fiction, fan art, original content, whatever. You have to think about what audience you're serving, and you have to be very specific and think about it like you are locked on a target instead of making a shotgun blast. So that's my best advice without more context.
Here's Titan, who says, you are all big Star Trek fans. Have you ever thought about doing a show or making an appearance on Robert Meyer Burnett's channel? I like Robert Meyer Burnett. If we were going to do a show, we do it here.
Yeah.
But I have no interest in YouTube shows anymore. I'm working in television right now, so that's what my focus is. I maybe soon, I might make an appearance on there very soon to promote the Jawiin Charity Drive. We'll see. We've been talking. I have been talking to Rob. I wanted to be an astronaut when I was a kid, says Ash, but I'm bad at math and science. Me too. What did you want to be with your kids? I wanted to be an astronaut.
I wanted to be
I had the same thing.
I wanted to be a doctor for a while, and I wanted to be a zoologist for a really long time and work with great apes because I thought Jane Goodall was really cool.
Valentin Torres says, you got a login for HBO Max I can use? It's cheaper than Netflix. No. Oops, sorry,
That's
Ashley.
okay.
Meow. It's all good. If you go to the Philippines, look up those YouTubers that make the pools out of mud. I don't know what that is.
I don't know either.
Interesting.
I know those kids from Uganda who keep remaking movies, though, and I think they're everything.
Also, what other speaking roles would you put Jeffrey Combs in?
All of them.
All of them. All of them. Lee Carter says, already ahead of you there. Started watching all the Charlie Chaplin films. Good.
I love City Lights. I know everyone says Modern Times The Dictator, but City Lights is my favorite.
Yeah, I think it's a great dictator.
It's so good.
I think it's a great dictator. All right, so we've been going at this 53 minutes. We'll let some time come in for some more questions. If you guys got some more questions, you want to throw them in there. Again, we are doing this today to talk about the Jawiin Charity Drive, which is next Saturday. The date's right there, 11/14/2020, from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm a veteran. We are raising money for Operation Gratitude, which is an amazing charity that sends care packages to service members, wounded heroes, and their families back home. We're hoping to raise $5,000 for them at the same time. Think about it like a Jerry Lewis telethon. You come to YouTube, to this YouTube channel, youtube.com/Jawiin. I know it's also going to be broadcast on Facebook and Twitter, but you can only donate on YouTube. Come to YouTube, watch some amazing entertainment, have a chance to win some great comic book art by legends by Brett Booth, Dan Jurgens, Cully Hamner, and support real heroes, because we all love fictional heroes, but let's help real heroes. That's the whole point, and we're so proud of it. Again, we have Tom King, we have Emma Fyfe, Brian Tong, Jay Washington, DJ Woolridge, Ashley V. Robinson, and that idiot Jason Inman. So they're scheduled there, all the quotes. Everything you need to know is on the website at charitydriveforservicemembers.com, and there are bigger announcements coming. So please, this exact time next Saturday on these exact channels will be your chance to help. So please show up.
So please come back next week. This time next week.
We have a few last questions here, so let's take them here. Hold on a second. Trying to figure where we stopped. There it is. Mac Driver says, I'm writing fan fiction basically. With the DCEU, I adapted classic comic book stories like Under the Red Hood and key moments from the Justice League while also creating original stories. Mac, I'm glad that you're writing. That's a good thing. I personally think no one should write fan fiction. I'm one of those people. No one
should write fan fiction if you are interested in a career in writing or creating.
Yes, you can write fan fiction all you want, but
if you're just writing for you, that's amazing.
That's great, and I'm glad they're writing. But if you want to write professionally, I think you need to get out of fan fiction because you don't own those characters. You will never own those characters. You can never send those stories to DC. DC will never look at you.
In fact, all they'll do is send you a cease and desist.
They'll send you a cease and desist.
Which is scary.
Yeah, and I've seen professionals that I know. I know a professional, I will not say their name, who had worked for DC, had written Batman, and did a fun little, like, just 6-panel, like, one-page about Batman to celebrate Batman Day. Because he didn't do it through DC, DC came to him and said, delete that off your Twitter.
Yeah.
So create your own characters. The easiest thing about it is that you like those stories. Well, create your own Red Hood. Create your own Injustice.
Truly, just start like I know we joke about it, but like start with those archetypes, scrape off the names, make them your original characters, and write those same types of stories.
Yep. Yes, exactly. That's where I would push you, because here's the other downside. Because you mentioned in your earlier comment about views, people are not willing, general audience, not really willing to read fan fiction about Superman when they can literally read Superman by the big names like the Scott Snyders and the Bendises and the Dan Jurgens people, so like you're always going to be fighting that. Like, I know you love the Injustice universe, but they're going to be like, well, why would I read Mac Driver's Injustice universe when I can read Tom Taylor, the guy who created it?
Look, and they'd say the same thing about us.
And they'd say they say the same thing about us
either.
Yeah. But that's a hard hill to climb. It's a really hard hill to climb.
I would recommend, working on your own original content and finding more than views. And I know it's hard not to measure your metrics by your likes because now we live in this world that's all about the likes and the shares. But find a writing community, whether that's online or in real life, where you're working to support each other to create the best work. If you're creating your best work, your audience will follow.
Yes. Here we go. Who would win in a fight, Flash or Superman? Wavy Damon, Superman. Valentin Torres says, favorite live-action Alfred and thoughts on Andy Serkis. I think Andy Serkis is a great casting, and I think I have to go with Michael Caine.
I was going to say, I think you have to give it to Michael Caine, but I love Andy Serkis, and I'm so happy that he is getting live-action gigs.
We have the most important question of this entire live stream right here. DA says, okay, Star Trek's cool, but where's Intern Brego? Actually,
hold, please.
We're going to hold for an appearance from Intern Brego while I just advertise again the Jawiin Charity Drive. Ashley's going to find Intern Brego. We're going to see. Don't forget, set your calendars. Be here next week. Don't make me incredibly depressed when no one finds. All right, here we go. We have an special appearance by Intern Brego.
I woke him up for this.
On the live stream.
He's going to say hi to the internet.
Intern Brego is like,
so unhappy.
He's like, why am I don't want to be a YouTube star. Please let me go.
I love you.
What am I doing? He wants nothing to do with this. All right, I think you can let him go. Thank you, DA, for the important questions there.
He literally ran
Adam
away.
Grunther says, what are your thoughts on the movie studio? I like them. I loved Kubo and the Two Strings.
I got to go there once. It was really cool. They're lovely.
Meow says, what's up with mustacheless Alfreds? It's fine, because mustaches are dated. That's why.
Yeah, and obviously the actors don't want to grow them.
Tommy Johnson says, are there any characters you want to see in the Injustice League in the Snyder Cut? I don't know.
I don't care. I'm really sorry. My meter for caring about Zack Snyder's Justice League is so filled. I don't care.
I'll just say Bane.
I'll watch it when it comes out.
Kyle Rice says, do you have a fan cast for all live action Blue and Gold? No, I don't.
No, but I want it to be Ted Cord.
No, I'll let the casting directors decide that one. Ariel says, who was your hero when you were young? Actually, this is a great question. And I think this is a great question to end the stream on.
I think people are going to think this is trite, but like my hero was my dad.
That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
So.
I don't know who my hero was. It's definitely a Star Trek captain.
I don't know. Also, probably Aragorn, who's also kind of like my dad.
It might have been Cisco. It might have been Captain Cisco.
Oh, I do love Ben
as my hero. So there you go. All right, guys. Thank you so much for showing up. Don't forget, the Jawiin Charity Drive for service members is next week. The date is on the screen, 11/14/2020, from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. Come here, get some awesome entertainment. And come to YouTube, this is all terrible. Come to YouTube, do this stuff like that. This exact same time, you can ask plenty of questions.
And if you missed me saying this at the beginning, if you ask a super chat to us or the amazing guests throughout the Jawiin Charity Drive, that goes right to Operation Gratitude. That is straight into the donation pile, and it will guarantee that your question gets asked.
Exactly. Again, I was a veteran that received the care packages, and that's why we're helping Operation Gratitude send more care packages to service members. So please help us do that. Please come enjoy a lot of awesome stuff this exact same time next week. All the details are on charitydriveforservicemembers.com. You're not going to believe who our big guest is that's closing out the show. It's going to be so much fun. As fun as this. And you can ask Q&As to the guests, and we will take them. So there you go. I don't know. Any final thoughts, Ashley?
Be safe. Make good choices. Wear a mask. Drink some water.
Oh, one last thing. Please help us share this. If you see me share a tweet or a Facebook post or any of the posts about the Jawiin Charity Drive promoting for next week, because we need eyeballs, please share it. I don't know why you're showing your dirty Robin glass. Oh, okay. I was like, why? Here.
Also, because we do know that some people are in financial hardships, and if you can't donate, sharing the link, making other people aware, encouraging other people to come and check us out is such a big help.
Is such a big help. It actually is just as important as it is just as important as coming to the drive. So, guys, thanks for joining us. This was fun.
It was
a fun Saturday afternoon. All these things liked. See, Tommy Johnson's got it dead on. This was amazing. Well, thank you, Tommy.
This was because you are all amazing, too.
So,
and we couldn't do this without you. It would just be us talking alone in our studio. So, thank you for being here.
Be a lot of this. I'd be doing a lot of this. I'd be like, look at these barrel rolls that Travis Mayweather is doing. Look at this. I don't know why a Travis Mayweather joke made you laugh.
I don't know why either.
All right. Thank you so much. Guys, I hope to see you next week. Get some amazing art. Come back. It's going to be such a fun show. And again, bigger and better. Thank you so much, Super Friends. Have an excellent, excellent day. And enjoy this awkward pause as I hit end broadcast.
Bye.